Okay, we are live. All right, let me do a little check on some levels. Looks like the mic's working and the camera's working, and we haven't cropped the entire half of the desktop, unlike last time. So yeah, welcome to our current live stream, our next live stream. This time we're talking about the new RaceCapture app, version 2.15.1. No, 2.5.1. Getting my firmware and app versions mixed up. And then we also have the Podium app version 0.2.0. So the leaning with the 0 means it's not in production yet. We are working on getting that closer to production level, which we'll kind of demo with that. We'll demo that for you in this video and show you the things that we're working on to make it production ready. So thanks everybody for beta testing the Podium app so far. And your feedback is welcome, especially after this version, because we've added so many things to it. Well, let's go through. Let's start with the Podium app, actually. I'm going to bring that over here. Get the RaceCapture app out of the way. So, in case you're not aware, most people are, but the Podium app is kind of the companion to the RaceCapture app in the sense that it is designed to be the app you run in the pits or on your phone when standing at turn 2 or wherever you might be, sitting on the couch watching data from home. This is the app that you view live telemetry data and that you also use to review data after the fact, comparing laps from a session, comparing laps between yourself and a friend, whatever it might be. So what you're looking at here is the Podium app. And I have to do a little bit of a fix on, there we go, so we're not overlaying it. Cool, all right. You're looking at the front page of the Podium app, and this is me, this is my profile. These are the tracks that I have created events for. I haven't raced at all these tracks, but I've created events for these tracks. This is a selection of some recent events that I've created. And at the top here, it looks like we have somebody live streaming right now from Australia. We'll take a peek at that later to see if they're still live streaming. So what we've done in this current version of the Podium app is that we've revamped the way the app looks on the home page, and we've also made it a lot faster to load. So on the last version, there was a lot of loading, a lot of delay loading because it was loading a whole bunch of stuff at once, and we didn't really need to do that. So now it's quite a bit smarter about what it loads initially. So this is the tab at the bottom here. This is your home page, and then the next tab over is a list of people you might follow. So these are all different users on the Podium system. The next tab over is my events. So these are the events that I've created or participated at. You can create an event now. I think that was in the last version. My tracks shows all the tracks that you have participated at or created events for. So if you click a track, you can go see all the events for that track. And then a new feature in this version is a tab called My Devices, where you can create a device where you normally you would have done that through the website. Now you can do it within the app. You create a device. You can select you could select a picture, and then you can make it private or public if you have the Pro account. And then you can create it. And of course, once you create it, then you have the ability to edit it, and then you have your streaming key, which is put into the RaceCapture app. So used to call it the device ID, and now we call it the streaming key. All right, going back to the home page, we also have added the your profile editor. So what you can do now is you can change your avatar and you could change your profile image. This was done on the website before. Now you could do it within the app. And then here you can change your username and your name, a little bit about your bio, all within the app now. So that's it for the home page. You can download the app and play with that. You can also explore the different events and of course look at your own events. The next enhancement we did on the Podium app are some improvements to the dashboard. So let's see if our friend in Australia is still racing, and yes they are. Okay, cool. So we have, I think they might, oh crap, they just pulled into the pits. Why are you not racing for us? We are not entertained. Anyways, we can't control that. But yeah, so what we have done in the dashboard for the dashboard mode for the Podium app is we've improved this little lock unlock icon. So now it's a little bit more obvious that the dashboard is in a locked or unlocked state. And then when the dashboard is unlocked, we have a different organization for the menus. So now you see you have the edit menu, you can delete the gauge. So edit the gauge, you can delete the gauge. And now we have added this feature where you can set the Z order of those gauges. So what that means is just like with any visual editor, you might want to layer something on top or on the bottom of another gauge. And that's particularly important if you, let's see if we have a scenario here where we have this RPM gauge that's kind of like, we made it like a composite gauge with this speed gauge. So we can say lower to the bottom, and now it's actually underneath the speed gauge. So I'm going to move this speed gauge and lower the speed gauge to the bottom, and you can kind of see what that looks like. Now the reason why this is important is we like to think that we have a plan for our product, but when we add video and data integration, we're going to have something that is like a video gauge. So if you like edit the gauge, you will see the gauge type. So we have a whole bunch of different kind of gauges. We have analog, bar graph, digital, heat chart, this overview page that shows the tire temperatures and other things. We will also have a video gauge in this selection, in this list of gauges. And what we need to be able to do is put that video gauge in the background and then bring all the other gauges on top of that video gauge. So you'll be able to create a video gauge, expand it out to the whole screen, and then put gauges on the top, and then maybe add another video gauge, which is the perhaps a different camera view, and then be able to create a full dashboard with video and data together. So we thought we just released this feature earlier, just so we can be prepared for the next version. So other things we've done is this list of laps. Now it has a lap number next to it, which is kind of important. And if you click on any of these icons, you're taken to that actual user that is currently racing, and then you can go see what other events they might have streamed. So let's see. No laps on that event. Let's see if there's something else. So I can, so if I go to Chuckwalla, I can go to one of the events that I look at often for just testing the app features. So here's some data from Chuckwalla, and then if I select the device here, now we go back to this for the Win Motorsports, and we can see the events that they've participated at. For example, here's another event at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. Excuse me. And then we can look at data for that event. And then this allows you to compare laps between events and between compare laps for the same event or different events or different people at the same racetrack. So it's pretty powerful what you can do. Okay, so I wonder if our live streamer is back on the track. Probably not. They're probably cooling their tires. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, well, we will probably just continue on. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just let me know. Trying to think of what we would be coming up with next on the Podium app for the next release. I think one of the big ones. The theme with this release is just getting up to parity with the features we have on the website. So one of the big things we want to do next is the ability to do pit to car messaging within the app. That's only done through the website, so we'll be adding that. And I would say I think a race overview might be one of the things we might release before production. We might just put it into production before that. A few other niceties. Put spinners on when things take a long time to load, just to make sure that you know that the app's responding when the network is slow. Another thing too is we put a lot of work into making the live stream robust when there's some poor network connections. So what happens now, we've enhanced like the retrying and the reconnect, and if the app detects a locally unstable internet connection, so let's say you're using a hotspot in the pits and the connections, it's like a marginal connection and it's dropping and reconnecting, the app will detect that and it'll display a pop-up message just saying, hey, by the way, your local internet isn't the best, FYI, just so you know. So it just doesn't like leave you hanging and pauses the data. Another thing we've done is we've added this little icon you can't see that. Okay, now we moved it over. We've added this little icon at the top that shows whether the live stream is active or not. So this is a good indicator, just so you know if like the car has connected and it's live streaming, or if it's disconnected. So it's really similar to the little connected icon on the website. So if this is green, then the app knows that there's data coming from the car and coming down from Podium. So yeah, there we are. So you can download this app for Windows, OS X. We even have a Linux build. We have it for Android on both. Actually, we just have it on the Google Play Store, and it's in the beta track. So we don't have it on the Amazon App Store yet, and we don't have it on iTunes yet. But hopefully, for like the next build, or maybe for this version, we will get an iTunes build up there as well, so you can use it on iOS. Okay, cool. Let us go over to the RaceCapture app. All right. So with the RaceCapture app, we have added one significant feature to the CAN bus mapping page. This is something we demoed in the last video, but it's worth mentioning again. So right now for the CAN channels, we have a list of presets that are provided by the system. So these are like our canonical list of like system presets. You have the ability to create your own set of presets that you can save in the cloud. And then these are presets that other people have created and shared. So it's worth mentioning. So I always get a kick out of Tire Magic. Yeah, so we have that. We have a full complement of shareable and system level presets. Now what we've added is the ability to import a DBC file. So if you have something that's like if you have a device that has a standard DBC file, then you can select it and import it. And when you select it, you're asked whether you want to overwrite or append to the existing channels. So here we're going to overwrite, and it brings in a bunch of channels. It loads the CAN ID and offset and formula, and it gets you like 90% of the way. And what you can do after that is you can turn these channels into something a little more meaningful, like my channel, whatever. So a little hint, our traditional naming scheme for RaceCapture is what we call camel case, where you have a capital letter, and for each like word, you start with a capital letter, the channel, and then that keeps it in the style of our system channels, and also saves as much space as possible. So we don't use underscores in channel names just to save space. So yeah, you can go in and rename the channel, set other channel parameters, the CAN ID and the Indian, the data type, offset, and length. Those are all loaded from the DBC file, as well as the formula. And then here you can go into units conversion and do an optional Celsius to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Celsius, or other units, in case, let's say the mapping had Celsius and you just want to convert it to Fahrenheit without having to like figure out how to do it in the formula. Then this does a post formula conversion for you, so it's a little bit of convenience. So yeah, that's what we have for the feature in the setup view. In the dashboard view, we have also enhanced the system with the improved lock unlock icon. People were having trouble seeing this, so we made an improvement here. And then we've kind of streamlined the pop-up menus. There's been a lot of emphasis on like speed and responsiveness within the app, so just a lot of little things that are just making for a more smooth app experience. So because the Podium app and the RaceCapture apps share the same core technology for rendering dashboards, we also have this new edit capability for the for individual gauges. So we have the same edit, delete, raise, lower, Z order indexing for gauges. So you can raise and lower these from the top or the bottom. And again, in case you missed it last time, this is all in the preparation of doing video and data combined analysis. So we'll have a video gauge. It'll be added to the background of the dashboard, and you can layer gauges on top of that, resize them, and then create your video and data experience all within the RaceCapture app. So a little bit about what our roadmap looks like for the RaceCapture app for the video and data analysis. In particular, the next major version, we are targeting the initial release of the video and data analysis portion. So you'll be able to go into analysis and select a session, and then add a video gauge, and then play back the data while the video is playing. So we will have that in place, and I'm sure everybody will have a great time, kicking it around, finding bugs, reporting issues, hopefully seeing some good demos. The next version after that will be an enhancement to the dashboard to allow bitmaps to be used as gauges. And what that means is that a bitmap could be a background image, or a bitmap could be a logo in the corner of the screen for your sponsor, because y'all got sponsors up the wazoo. So and I'm sure those sponsors will cover like half of the screen. So these bitmaps will be, I'm sure people will find all sorts of interesting uses for them. They could be like create a dashboard with a nice textured background, or just put like some, like a logo or something else on the screen. That will be done after the video analysis, and then the next thing after that will be the ability to render out a session or a set of laps with video and data overlay based on your overall design. And of course, you will be able to share and export your dashboard designs just like you can now. But in this case, you will have the ability to share layout designs that include video. Of course, they won't be the actual videos you're sharing. It's just the design of the layout. So somebody could create a really cool dashboard, share it in RaceCapture, and then somebody else will be able to import it, use it for the creation of their own videos. So yeah, that is what our roadmap looks like, and those are the features for the Podium and RaceCapture app. I am happy to answer any questions, ask anything, even personal questions. Just kidding. No, actually, if you want. Anything at all before we conclude the live stream. Let me see, while the video is spooling up, I'm going to see if our racer in looks like they stopped racing. So our friend in Australia, looks like they're done with their session. That's right, it's Friday over there. They've already started their weekend. Kind of jealous. Okay. Let's see, I have a list of things. Let's see what else is on the list. So we talked about the app loading faster. We have the public profile editor. We went through all that real quick. The new layout. Yeah, we improved the laps list. So yeah, we could talk a little bit about the phone format. So we also did a whole bunch of improvements on the phone form factor. So here I've squished the Podium app down to what it might look like on your phone. So one of the things we really imagined was like, you want to be able to look at live telemetry, but not on a laptop in the pits, but you pull out your phone and you want to see it on the screen. Sorry, I got lost. You want to see it on your phone while standing at turn 2, right? So you pull out your phone, you want to check like temperatures or see what speeds they're running or lap times. The Podium app will let you do that, and it'll kind of look like this. So here's some playback from some data, but this is what it will look like. So we think this is a really powerful feature of the system. So this will scale from your phone all the way to a big screen in the pits. We love seeing big screens in the pits whenever people share that. So if you have your pit set up with what we've done on demos is we have quad touchscreens. That's a kind of a tall order, but it's something we like to drag to events whenever we're demoing. But we've seen some pretty cool setups at races. So if you have a cool setup at the racetrack, take a picture and tag us, and we will share it. One more thing, we're at a little over 800 subscribers. So if you want to get notified whenever we have a live stream, most of these live streams are about like how to use the system. We're really trying to add a lot of value to these live streams. So each one will be like carefully selected to add value to your experience with RaceCapture and Podium. So hit that like and subscribe button, and I guess something magical happens to us when we're over 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to get notified, yeah, like the video and then subscribe to our channel. All right. Well, I guess that is it. We have a nice, concise 30-minute video. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just put something in the comments, and we will catch you next time. All right.